Hello everyone. Welcome to ArtTown podcast series or ATPS as we like to call it. Every week on Friday we feature art and design professionals who take us through their journey in this fascinating world of art. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Spotify, and with that let's continue with the show and dive deep into the ocean of art. Drawing a realistic painting on a paper is a nail biting task for most of us. Imagine inking the same on someone's body. Today we have with us the master of hyper-realistic tattoos and one of the most sought-after tattoo artists of India. He is the man behind the quirky tattoos that Virat Kohli and Hardik Pandya has. He is none other than Sunny Bhanushali. Undoubtedly, his tattoos of mythological characters like Lord Shiva and Buddha will totally blow your mind. Going against the tide, he founded India's first tattoo school, which is even recognized by Government of India. So let's dive into our conversation and know more about the fancy tattoo industry from the expert himself. Hello, Sunny. It's our pleasure to have you today. And before we dive into the actual conversation about tattoos and some other cool stuff, I just want to ask you, how are you and how are you coping up with the pandemic situation?
I'm doing good, and thank you for inviting me to the show. Well, I've been doing great. In fact, the whole pandemic. The reason because I didn't stop working, so I've been working entire pandemic. It's just I had few days free, so I was more with my family as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all in all, it was great. In fact, so
Yeah, it's great to know that you are enjoying your pandemic situation and everybody around you is safe. So
yeah.
uh, I just wonder, like in our culture, usually we are not even encouraged to have a tattoo. To be very frank. So how did you get into this unconventional career? How did it come to your mind, and when did you start thinking it as thinking that you want to be a tattoo artist?
Basically, I'm from really poor background, so my family was really weak in terms of financial, and the entire family was struggling all the time. But I was a dreamer always. I wanted to do something big. I was an artist as well, not a proper, um, not an artist from school or college, but I was good at drawing and sketching, and I was, um, who can visualize this and fantasize things, and I was able to put it on paper very easily, and through my life, I've worked at different places. So I worked as a sweeper in McDonald's. I worked as a sweeper in cyber cafe. I used to clean cyber cafe part time, and then part time I used to do something else. It was a difficult time, but I was always hungry for more and something new, something different. And I worked in BPO. I've worked my ass off all my life. Uh, but nothing was working as such. And I always used, because I started reading, like later in my life, I started reading books, a lot of books. And I always used to see this common phrase that, follow your passion, or follow uh, your what kind of thing. There's something which is easy for you and you enjoy at the same time. So the only thing was drawing and sketching, and there was not much of a scope. Till date, there is no scope for painter or someone who will paint and make a future out of it. And there is very few. There is future in it. So I used to think that there has to be something. And fortunately, I went with my friend. He wanted to get a tattoo, and I went with him. I saw the entire process how he got a tattoo, and then I was quite excited. Not in terms of that I'm gonna be a successful tattoo artist. I never thought that I'm gonna be a tattoo artist. Never in my dream. But then that day I saw him working on real things. I said I can do this, and that's why I made like 8,000 rupees in 6 hours. And for the same 8,000 rupees, I used to work for like I don't know, maybe 3 months. right?
Mm.
He in like 6 hours. So I thought, I mean, this is good and something which is something which of my interest, art and all that stuff. So I asked him that if he can teach me or he can guide me to learn tattooing. And his response, the artist's response was, you don't have that thing in you to become an artist. Not everybody can be a tattoo artist. And
Yeah.
being a young person, if somebody says this on your face, you're gonna get angry, right? So I was hurt, angry, and I I took it as a challenge. I wanted to show, prove myself that I can become a tattoo artist. So I came back, worked for a few months, and my mom also helped me to buy my first kit. That was a tattoo kit.
Mm-hmm.
The Chinese stuff somebody sold me as original and charged 3 times, but that's okay. That was new.
Oh.
And then yeah, so I came home and I did first tattoo on my leg, a small one. I got the confidence that I can work on skin. I asked my friend, if they can give me the skin to work, and I'll do it for free. And I started doing tattoos for free while I was working in, with different jobs. So I used to tattoo in my free time, my weekend, and a few of my friends from BPO used to come down and pay me, something, not the like 700,000 bucks for a tattoo. And I started doing it. So it was happening side by side, and still, I was not very sure that this is what I'm going to do. I developed my skills in graphic designing and as a visualizer. So I
Mm-hmm.
worked in ABAC. I worked for times as a visualizer for some time, and I got better at digital art as well. So I was good at drawing. I got really good at digital art, and suddenly, because my art was improvising, so my tattoo was getting better, and I started getting better response from people around. You should do tattoos more, and then you should put more time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I decided maybe I can do more tattoos and do freelancing, so, the other job. So I started freelancing as a graphic designer, visualizer for company. So I worked for Kibaya as a freelancer for some time, and I started putting more time in tattooing. And in no time, I was doing full time tattooing all day and night. I started making money. Little. The first thing I did is I thought of opening a. So I started at my home. So I used to tattoo in my home, and then the first thing I did is I thought I need to present myself in a better way. So commercially, there should be some presence. That's when I went out and not bought exactly. I rented out the shop, Shivara, and from there nothing stopped until date I've been tattooing.
Wow, wow. I must say that journey is so inspiring, and hearing that, it actually moved me. So you told us that you were pretty good at drawing since day one, but like it's very different to draw it on somebody's skin through
Right.
ink, through that pen, and
Mhm.
and doing it on a paper, right? So how did you achieve so much expertise in photorealistic and hyperrealistic tattoos? Because you are considered as one of the most highly recommended tattoo artists in India, and it's commendable how realistic your tattoos look.
So it's all about hunger. It's about the attitude. It's about the one's attitude. So, I can teach you and you can do the same thing what I do. That is what I believe in now.
Oh.
So what matters is whether you like it or not. If something which you will enjoy, you're not gonna put much effort. So in my case, I used to enjoy realism work always. In my drawings, I used to make realism and some abstract stuff. It was more like a surrealistic uh, art or painting I used to do. And because of that hunger, I used to put more and more time in learning that skill. So the more time you put in something, the better you get at it, right? If
True.
you do the same thing every day for 8 hours, you're gonna master it. So that's what has happened with me. It is no special skill. I didn't feel myself to be a specially skilled person as such. If there are a lot of people who compare my work with some cases, I would say if you find his work little poor or my thing little better, it's only because he has put less time, I have put more time in it. That is the only reason why one is better and one is not.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
Yeah, so it's actually very true what you said right now. So one more thing that totally excited me about you is that you are the founder of India's first government recognized tattoo school. I mean that's pretty great. So you through your endeavors, through your efforts, people are getting to know how how to get into this field and how to actually make tattoos and stuff. First of all, what gave you the motivation to build the school,
Right.
and how did you learn the skills?
So every human being is good at self-learning. So if you talk about, say, a Stone Age man, how did he learn to make a fire? There was no school to make a fire, or there was no school to make the first vehicle or the first wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So it is already in everybody's DNA. It's inside us about self-learning. One can figure out, if he likes to do something, he figures out how to do it. So I would apply the same rule here. I did not have anyone to teach. I did approach a lot of people around. Back then, many artists around, and I found that they were quite egoistic and really not interested in sharing the skill what they were good at. The reason I found is, so it took more time for me to learn the skill and figure out on my own. But the way I was doing things, I actually managed to create a pattern or course, or someone can actually do the same stuff what I did, but an optimized version and learn the same stuff. So same thing. They don't have to spend like 10 years like I did to learn what I have done in the entire decade. So I have students, my students doing the same stuff. I mean, if you go online and see a work of Alan Goethe, or if you talk about Bhanu Pratap, these are my students, and you will find they do the same exact stuff what I do. And, I mean, if you just compare the work side by side, you won't be able to realize that which one is Alan's work and which one is mine. And I have spent around 12 to 14 years in all, like from the day I started. And these guys have spent only 3 years in tattooing.
Okay.
So I was able to squeeze 11 years of study into 6 months. And that's where I got the idea that I need to open a school, because like me, there are hundreds of people across India who want to learn tattooing, and there is no place where they can actually go and go there, pay the fees, and learn take a proper course. Now, if you want to learn, say, graphic designing or commercial artist or fashion designing, what you do is you find the best college or best institute around you. You go there, you check out the course. If you think everything is good, you pay the fees and you go through the entire course, finish the course, and get a job and start working. In tattooing, that's not the case. Tattooing is now it's a different thing because aliens have changed it, all of it, in fact. But before us, the scene was such that tattoo art was more of an underground activity, where that activity or this group of underground artists used to be managed by some leader or some group of people, and it was a very closed group. They will not allow many people from outside to come in, right? And it was hard to learn tattooing because there was no place to go and take a course or learn from someone. There was something called apprenticeship. I mean, they used to give apprenticeship program or apprenticing. When you go there, they will teach you for free. In return, what you do is you work for free.
Oh.
Now, when you say this, it's still fair. I mean, it's not bad, right? It's still fair. For someone like me who had no money, I would be, I would love to go there and work for free. So, problem was they were not teaching, and at the same time, they used to do work which nobody would do normally. I mean, cleaning toilets and picking up the teacups and coffee cups and cleaning out the floors. And in return, if you're going to teach something, that's not fair.
Yeah.
And that is, used to happen all over the world, not just in India. So I have traveled Germany, Denmark, I've been places, and I've met a lot of people, and I've seen with my eyes that people are ready to do anything to learn tattoo art. So when I came back from there, I was really hurt about the whole scene as well. That what can be done to stop this. So I focused on the industry. So I did less tattoos once I was back because I had a team as well, and I started focusing on business. And I started seeing what are the negatives in our industry, what is exactly missing. I mean, there is a huge career in becoming a tattoo artist. A tattoo artist like me can make around 20-25 lakhs a month, and it's a huge career. I mean, one can go for. Now, why it is not universally accepted as a career option? Why people say it's a taboo or underground activity or so what makes it so different? I realize that it is the closed group which is the problem and nothing else. The way that the mentality or the culture which they are maintaining or pushing, that is not right. So I decided, just start with a change within yourself and start with you. Something which you normally read in books, said by Mahatma Gandhi. And if you want to change the world, you have to change yourself. So we started from ourselves. What we did is we designed a course which will work, and we offered a course publicly. So we did marketing on social media and stuff. And people used to come, they go through the course, and they will get a job either at my studio or some other studio which is in connection with me. So we started on a small scale. I used to take like 5-6 students, one-on-one training, and it worked. And I saw a lot of changes, and I saw artists. I mean, new guys were so fast in learning. I thought, this is happening. Then I thought of scaling it. What if I can make it like a more professional, way to go about it? And that's when me and my team planned to have a school, which is a kind of a negative word in tattoo industry. Almost entire tattoo industry is against the tattoo school, and that's the only reason I picked up a tattoo school as a name. It's a tattoo school because it is a negative word in the industry, because I am going against it. Because I want to bring this platform to these people who like I was an aspiring artist back then. I was so hungry for the art, and nobody helped me. I know that there are hundreds of people outside, and people are struggling.
Yeah.
There has to be a proper structured way of teaching. And that's what I started designing back then. So we were successful to design a structure. So we have a proper tattoo education system. It's not just a course now. It's complete education system what we have designed. And to run that, we need a big space and technology and stuff. And that's why we built the school. So we can cater at least 200 people at once. So my new school, which we have right now, we can take around 200 students at once and still provide, better than anyone can provide on the earth. The kind of training we do, I don't think anybody can think of it. And we are improvising day by day.
Wow, like what you said, it was a great eye opener for me, and whatever initiatives that you have taken, I must say that it must be helping a lot of people out there, and it will help many people to fulfill their dreams. So it's very appreciated. So, yeah.
And you mentioned about the government recognized thing.
Yeah.
So we still didn't get the recognition for the tattoo school as such. So we are the first people to get our business recognized by the government, which is running the tattoo school. So it is not a government recognized school, but it's a government recognized startup company which runs the school.
Oh.
So that's still an achievement for us because nobody else has done before. And the reason the government supported us in this is because we presented our case in such a way that we shared a few success stories back then when we approached for this. And success stories were of the people who had very similar background like mine, very poor financially, uneducated people who got training from us, and they are earning around 50,000 to 1.5 lakhs every month
Yeah.
on a regular basis. So that was a change we showed them that this can happen to a person. So if you talk about taking care of the rural areas where people are struggling to find a job, what if you can go ahead and train them and have this basic knowledge of tattooing where they can just move and then start tattooing around, because the demand is ever increasing and the artists are so, and in number the artists are really small. Good tattoo artists are rare. If you talk about a global market, the demand is high, the artists are less, so we need more artists any which way in this market. The time will come when people will go out and look for a job as a tattoo artist. Right now, every tattoo artist is thinking about opening his own shop. And later on, that will not be a case. It will be a job profile. So a tattoo artist, the job profile, one can apply for it and work and have a nice, decent life all their life.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. And through your efforts, especially, a change is obviously going to be happening in the future. So,
Right.
though the times are changing right now, but there was a point of time when tattoo was considered a very much taboo, as you said before. But so when did you start your career? That was like 10 to 13 years before. So, did you get any resistance while pursuing this career from your parents or from the society?
Not from family, because my mom was pretty cool with everything. And we were also struggling financially. So whatever works, just make sure that you bring food on the table. So that was the need back then. So I started working of, I don't know, 15, 16. And till now I'm doing the same stuff. And it didn't matter that what I do, unless, I mean, I'm not going off the track. So no, criminal stuff, no, two number ka dhanda. Apart from that, do anything which is legitimate. You can just go out and do anything. So, but a lot of resistance from the industry people. A lot of resistance to stop or to I mean, till date, I have people who will talk against me or against my ideas, or they will try to break my values or beliefs. But that's the only message. The more people from outside do this, the better I get, because I get stronger and stronger. The only reason I got into tattooing because somebody said that I was not good, and people are still doing the same thing. I'm gonna come bigger and stronger. That's the only way I know. So yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah, that's really motivating, I must say. And it's really good to know that your family was so supportive throughout your journey. So, yeah, that's pretty great to know. So, how do you describe your art? And why do you think people go through a bit much of pain and agree upon inking their body? So, what do you think? What does tattoo mean to people, and how do you describe the whole art tattooing of tattoo industry?
So for me, it has always been like one word answer for this. It's a self-expression for everyone. So you feel like getting a tattoo. Most of the time, it is about yourself. So if I want to get a tattoo, it's going to be about me. Right? So for some people, it is really serious stuff, like it is about a relation. Can be mom, can be wife, can be kid. For some people, it can be a trend because a star celebrity is getting something and he wants to do the same thing, or a cricketer has got something, so he's a fan, so he wants to get something. So many reasons, but it's all about self-expression.
It's actually true, and it gave a very different perspective to me regarding the whole tattoo industry and the whole art field. So you have done so many tattoos in your life, like so many. So which among them is your favorite?
A lot of people have asked me this question a lot of times. So I like many of them. There is not one which is the best, because every time I work on a new tattoo, I start liking it. But I'm a person who likes teamwork and collaboration. So the piece which I worked with my now colleague, back then he was a student. He's working with me and now he's a partner. Alan Gould. So me and Alan has worked on a back piece twice, and I love both of them.
Great, great, great. And I was totally amazed when I saw those tattoos. So everybody says that being a tattoo artist is like totally cool stuff, and because it has that image around it. But what is your part of being a tattoo artist? Your favorite part of being a tattoo artist?
My favorite part of being a tattoo artist is it's very simple. And it's the same answer from last, I don't know, 6, 7 years. Because I get to connect with people. I do whatever it takes to make sure that the overall experience of my customer, my client, has to be good, really good. It is not only about getting a tattoo. It is about the overall experience. It should be a memory for them and not just getting a tiny tattoo from some corner. And I love that part. I get to do this. I enjoy this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, that tattoo is something that remains with you permanently, right? And it's like you must be having fun with stories behind having a certain type of tattoo, right? Any very weird or very amusing story that you want to share with us?
Personally, there is no story which was weird as such. Amazing stories, I think there are hundreds of them. I mean, the people who come down to us and when they tell their stories, and then we have to convert those words into an art. So we have to understand the feeling behind their story, because from our side, from my perspective, that story can be a bland or plain sometimes. But from the client's perspective, it is so emotional and so deep that you have to put yourself into his or her shoes to understand it. So there is no one story which I can share, and I avoid weird stuff in each way. So I don't have anything weird in my life. Everything is sorted.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like people look up to the celebrities whenever they look at the tattoos and stuff. Like there are so many celebrities having so many tattoos all over their body. So which is your favorite artist according to you that that person has the best and the coolest tattoo?
So I love what Hardik Pandya has got on his body. Yeah, and the stories behind it. So I love his overall his style, the way he carries, and he carries my tattoos, which are also so.
Yeah. So actually, tattoo is something so permanent, and it's like it totally depends on the tattoo artist. So has it happened any time that you went on to do a tattoo on somebody's body, but it happened that you kind of misdone something or did a mistake? So has it happened to you anytime?
Hundreds of times, and that's the learning process. And it is not with me. Every artist, tattoo artist, for that matter, every artist on earth does it. Every human does it.
Yeah.
So I've done it multiple times. The one I remember I did, which I regret, because till then I was not supposed to do that kind of mistake, which I did, which is very recent. I would say 3 years ago. I would say a guy traveled from, I think, all over he traveled from some place from Europe, so maybe London or maybe he traveled all the way from there to get a tattoo from me. He booked 3 days and he got a tattoo from me, and the tattoo had the mantra, Mrityunjay mantra in it. The Mrityunjay mantra, the other mantra. I mean, he had this mantra from his family. So the mantra was this, and then a part of the design was Shiva. So while doing the mantra, I missed out. So I misspelled one word in that. And because he was a foreigner, he couldn't read the entire thing. So I realized almost at the end of the tattoo, and the tattoo was costing around 2.5 lakhs. So 2.2 plus tax, and then there was a mistake in it. Nobody knew about it, but then I have my own way of working. The moment I saw it, I took a break. I asked him to, just get up and come out with me. So he wanted to smoke any which way. And I told him there is a mistake in this and it has happened because of me and I regret. And then he said, it's okay. I mean, no, I mean, he was quite cool about it. It's fine. If it is that small, doesn't matter because even I can't read it. That's what he said. I think that's not the case. It's about the trust which you have put on me.
Yeah.
You traveled all the way. And this is a very silly mistake which is not supposed to happen. So I was very sorry about it. I told him I'm sorry. And I finished the entire tattoo the way I was supposed to, but I didn't charge him. So I did it for free at the end.
God, you didn't charge him 2.5 lakhs just because you did a mistake.
Yeah, so I mean that is how you earn. That is how you earn people. I mean, it is not about 2.5 lakhs. It is about that guy came again next year for the another tattoo. That is what matters the most. That's how you earn people.
God, this is something I am going to keep this in mind.
That is what I have learned all my life in business by meeting more people. It is not about earning money. It is about earning people. Money is a byproduct of it.
Yeah. God, that totally amazed me. So like you have achieved so much. So when I Google on internet, like best tattoo artist in India, one of the names that come up is of you, is of yours. So it's like you have achieved so much. You are like the king of hyper realistic tattoos in India, and you have also built up a school for tattoo. So is there any other dream that is lined up, or do you want to achieve that in the near future? Any dream of inking a certain type of tattoo or something like that?
I've not even started yet with my life. What you said, I have achieved so much. It is not even a start for me.
Okay.
I'm not planning to become a world's great tattoo artist because I don't like to I have my own dreams and own aspirations, and there's so much. I mean, I think what I've achieved is, I would say, 10% of it. 90% is still left. So there's a lot more which is coming.
That was a very different perspective about the best, about the competing thing that you said, and it's like it's totally wow how much you want to achieve more. So lastly, I just want to ask you: there are so many people out there who must be having so many doubts about tattooing, and they all of this root up to this industry. So do you have any advice for the listeners or any budding tattoo artists those who want to make career in this field?
So, I tell this to anyone who approaches me that is it good to become a tattoo artist or not. So for all the listeners, anyone who is about to choose a tattoo career, about to choose any kind of career and considering tattooing as one of it, I think that should be the topmost priority because this industry is very new. So this is the right time to jump into this. If you are planning, if you like art and tattoo art, this is the time to jump into this. Because there is no other art industry. This is one of the fastest art form in the overall art industry we have. Yeah. So fastest growing art industry across the globe. Talk about any other thing that's going. Last stats what we had is it has already crossed $8 billion. So you can say it is $8+ billion industry already. And each year I think it's gonna be, I don't know, it's a very number. It's gonna double every year for some years. The more people learn, the better life is gonna be. And also other way, the more people jump in, the more people are going to support and help this industry to grow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the suggestion. I mean, jump in as early as you can. Yeah. So it was really, really nice talking to you, and I love the fact that you are so out there and you are so much against the tide, and it's kind of motivated. It's kind of motivating to have a revolution on in a certain field where you feel that I love this field, but there are some things that I feel that might be changed in it. It takes a lot of courage, and
to go against the crowd and do something like that. And first of all, taking such an unconventional career. It was really amazing talking to you. It was very motivating.
Hope you liked our show. You can give your valuable feedback and suggestion of speakers you would like us to host next by writing us on www.arttown.store. Stay tuned to our channel as we are going to come up with brand new episodes every week on Friday. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Spotify. See you soon.